Hey, what's up, guys? It's NMG here, back with another video. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be voicing over this video and, I don't know, telling a little story. The topic today is why graffiti is art. And of course, accompanied to this, I am doing a piece on a piece of paper. So, yeah, let's hop into it. From an outsider's perspective, seeing shitty tags and colorful words that you can't even tell what they say, and once you do, it's a random name like Scent 1 or 6-7. Okay, I'll stop. It can be really confusing, and people hate what they don't understand. Why people do graffiti is different for each artist, but every graph artist shares one thing in common: self-expression. Writing your name on a wall seems really stupid, but it's more than that. Look at the New York streets. They tell stories from the past and the present of people who were mad at the world, people who had such a passion for the art form, people who were grief-stricken, and people who wanted to document themselves for history. People have been telling stories on walls since the caveman times. People would paint New York trains in the 1960s in the subways. I mean, they still do. Just imagine people from, Pompeii. If they wrote their names on their walls and shit, and then, when the volcano comes and destroys everything, maybe we could have seen, when they, we uncover the walls and we, from the ground and shit, yeah, most of them are broken, but at least a couple of them could survive, dude, and we would have literal history, and it would be beautiful. We could see these people's names and stuff, in their art and the stories that they wrote on these walls. That's beautiful. Once you do graffiti, you'll understand how little freedom artists have. Not being able to paint under a bridge that nobody gives a fuck about, only but you, and then getting thrown in jail for practicing human expression it's clownbonious, bro. And also, graffiti gets treated like erotic art. And let me explain. So, erotic art is people are like, oh, we love art. I love all forms of art. And then when sexual art's involved, they're like, oh, that's not art, that's nasty, that's porn, that's you get that away from me, how dare you, blah blah blah. And I'll tell you a fucking story that happened locally to me. There's this artist that came into where I live, right? And he was a sculpture artist, and he sculpted this beautiful naked man or naked woman, whatever, but it was in Rome. They have naked sculpture of men and women all the time. And it's not a sexual thing. There's sensuality in it, but it's just the appreciation of the human body, right? And that's what this sculpture was supposed to be. Sensual and appreciation of the human body and this beautiful figure. And this one motherfucking man was not having it. Again, you see how he's not an artist and he wants to go tell an artist what they can and can't do. He gets pissed because he's like, wow, this motherfucker, he sculpted, he's a pervert, and he put this in an art museum where kids can see. Oh, he's disgusting. This is disgusting. This is an art. This is disgusting porn. How dare somebody do that? How dare somebody sculpt and appreciate the human body that God gives us and fucking destroys the sculpture, just rips, fucking, I think he took a hammer or something, but he threw it and shit. or kicked it. I don't know how big it was, but it was another artist from my state was telling me about this in art class, and she was the teacher, and she was pissed too, and he just destroyed that, and the artist had to fly back from Mexico, I think, just to go fucking fix the piece that this motherfucker destroyed. Because why? Because he doesn't understand. I mean, because if this was like a simple sculpture of a woman with clothing, he would have been fine. But as soon as it's naked, then, oh, no, it's wrong. It's because it's misunderstood. And once again, people hate what they don't understand. Or they have this preconceived notion of how things should be. And if it doesn't fit some, their narrative, then it's immediately wrong. And they're always non-artists, dude. There are always people who don't even practice art, who want to tell other fucking artists how to do their fucking job or what they can and can't do. And underground artists, like, they were drawing, like, sexual art and stuff, and murder and stuff, and they're in, like, just violent shit and stuff that's, like, society doesn't deem as art and stuff, so they bury it, and, in some cases, you would get thrown in jail, like Thomas Finland, the legendary like gay erotic artist. Like he couldn't even use his own name in his drawings. Not only because he didn't want to bring shame to his family's name, but like because he would get thrown in jail for that shit, and he had to like sell it. Like he couldn't just like market himself like now. Like now, thank God people, it's legal, but like back then, like, dude, you would have been thrown in jail for drawing that type of shit. In the legendary graffiti book, Subway Art, there is Henry Champflant. He was talking to the Museum of Modern Art back in like 19-something, and they said this is literally the exact quote from the book, what they said about graffiti artists. Of the Museum of Modern Art once said to me, those people should be lined up and shot. That's what they're saying about artists, that they should be murdered. And these are artists, dude. These are like the heads of this art museum, dude. These are the ones that rally for art. But yeah, they're literally talking about murdering artists. Like, that's criminal, dude. That just shows how much hate graffiti has and how misunderstood that even other artists fucking hate. It's sad. A rule that I live by about art, because when I was approaching the medium, is that art is not for a human to decide what it is and what it isn't. Like, art has no masters. Art has no tamers. Art doesn't have a king. Like, you're either a follower or a hater, and that's what you'll be. You will never tell art what it is and what it can and can't be. And that's why I fell in love with graffiti. Like, it's like the last living idea of artists being free, and artists, that can actually indulge in art. I mean, also, don't get me wrong, like, graffiti is rebellious, but it's not like rebellious the way you think about it, like, that people are just trying to be badass and cool. Like, it's basically most people, not all graffiti artists do it just to say fuck the police, but, some of them do. And it's not even saying fuck the police in, like, a way, like, that seems like, oh, you're killing black people, or this, that, and the third. Like, they're just saying fuck you guys because you guys won't leave us alone and let us do our art. Like, fuck off. Back in, I think, 2000, in, like, the early 2000s, H&M made, like, some ad about, like, their fucking clothing and shit. And they did it in front of a mural. And the mural artist, who was, like, I forget his name, but you could probably find the information somewhere. UFO covered it. It was this legendary graffiti artist legal mural that he did, right? And his lawyer sued H&M for using his art in their ad without permission. And they have the audacity to say, oh, well, graffiti is illegal and it's not protected by law. I bring up this because it just shows how, like, appropriated and, like, abused graffiti is. Like, society's so nitpicky about it. Like, Spencer's logo is really graffiti, but they're never gonna come out and say that they accept graffiti. There's brands that use it in, like, aesthetics in their clothing, but they're never gonna go out and accept and, like, say that it's actually good to do stuff. It's in video games. It's in clothing brands, ads and stuff. But it's like an aesthetic, but these people, they just abuse it, they appropriate it, and they have no actual respect for it. Right? They're just using it because they think it looks cool. And that right there just pisses me off even more. Whether you like it or not, graffiti is art, and it's one of the most realist and truest forms of art because it's human expression. People, like, in Seattle, they spend millions and millions of dollars cleaning up graffiti each year, and then they go cry about it, even though there's fucking crackheads and these fake homeless people on the street that aren't actually homeless. Like, they're homeless because they did all these drugs, and they make these places so unsafe, and they rob people and they rape people, and there's human waste and garbage and fucking needles and playgrounds so that when kids come play, like, they get stabbed on these disgusting, filthy, fucking vile objects. And there's violence and fucking gang wars, and they can worry about all that instead of spending the millions in cleaning that shit up and deporting these motherfuckers, instead of worrying about art on a fucking wall. And at its simplest, like, you really want to get mad at paint on a wall. Paint on a wall. That's really all it is. It's not a crime. It's paint on a wall, dude. Calm down. And that is my opinion why graffiti is absolutely in 100% art, and it forever will be, whether you like it or not. And graffiti can't be stopped because it's 100% human. It's 100% human activity. You can see the smallest tags. The police can do everything they can about it, but it doesn't matter what they do because it will never be stopped. Art cannot be stopped.